Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I told you guys that in honor of making 100 subscribers, I would be putting out another video today. So in honor of that, I will be putting out another Disney video. And I will be reading out Peter Pan from Walt Disney's classic Storybook. And I did get a request last time to try speaking slower and then also tapping slower on the book. So I think I'm going to try that out today, and let me know if you guys prefer it that way. So just send me a little comment down below and tell me if you guys enjoyed it. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. And sorry about my attire. I'm still in my scrubs right now from school. I got out of school today, and then I had a really busy day. I've been doing errands, so yeah. At the very end, pretty sure it's like the last story. Yeah, there we go. So, Walt Disney's Peter Pan. So, late one night, high above the city of London, Peter Pan and Tinkerbell flew across the sky. They stopped at the nursery window of a darling family and crept silently inside. The darling children, Wendy, Michael, and John, were all fast asleep. Peter Pan had to find his shadow. He left it behind the last time he had visited the darling nursery. He often came and secretly listened to Wendy tell bedtime stories about Neverland, pirates, fairies, and himself, Peter Pan. Finally, Peter found the shadow inside a dresser drawer, but when he tried to catch it, the shadow flew away. Peter chased it around the room, knocking over a table and waking Wendy. Before long, Peter Pan had convinced Wendy to come back to him to Neverland. "Oh, Peter, it would be so wonderful," said Wendy with a gasp. "I'm so happy, I think I'll give you a kiss." She stepped up to Peter Pan and puckered her lips. But just then, something yanked her back by the hair. It was Tinkerbell. The tiny pixie was already jealous of Wendy. "Stop it, Tink," scolded Peter, chasing the pixie around the room. Soon Michael and John were also awake. They wanted to come to Neverland too. So Peter Pan sprinkled some of Tinkerbell's pixie dust over the children and told them to think happy thoughts. "You can fly," said Peter. Here's another picture from the book. I love all the illustrations in here. Soon they were soaring through the sky, heading for Neverland. At last the children looked down and saw the golden rainbows, blue waterfalls, and mermaids singing in a lagoon. It was the most beautiful place they had ever seen. "Oh, Peter," said Wendy happily, "it is just as I've always dreamed it would be." There were beaches and deep forests, and of course there was a pirate ship. Yes, this indeed was Neverland. That picture. Peter Pan led the children into Hangman's Tree, the secret hideout where he lived with his good friends, the Lost Boys. Then, while John and Michael went off to explore the island within the Lost Boys, Peter Pan and Wendy went to visit the mermaids in Mermaid Lagoon. It was there that Peter Pan spied the Indian princess Tiger Lily tied up in the rowboat of the evil Captain Hook and his first mate, Mr. Smee. Captain Hook had kidnapped her. Peter and Wendy could overhear the pirates saying, "You will tell me the hiding place of Peter Pan and I shall set you free." But loyal and proud Tiger Lily would not say a word. Peter Pan and Wendy trailed Captain Hook. So Peter Pan and Wendy trailed Captain Hook to Skull Rock, where Peter challenged Captain Hook to a thrilling duel. Peter was too quick for the pirate, who ended up in the water and was chased away by the crocodile. Peter rescued Lily and brought her safely home. The Indian chief was so grateful he made Peter Pan a chief too. As for Captain Hook, he was furious. He hatched a plan to get Peter Pan back. First, he had his first mate capture Tinkerbell. Captain Hook tricked her into revealing the location of Peter's secret hideout. Then he locked her up inside the lantern. As Captain Hook's band of pirates approached Hangman's Tree, the Darlings and the Lost Boys were coming outside. One by one, they were captured. But Captain Hook still did not have Peter Pan, so he and Smee left behind a bomb wrapped as a gift from Wendy. Soon Peter would open it and kaboom! "Peter Pan will save us," Wendy said to Captain Hook when they had all been taken back to the pirate ship. Captain Hook roared with laughter. Then he gave the children the choice of turning into pirates or walking the plank. Wendy refused to join the pirate crew. "As you wish," said Captain Hook. Then he pointed to the plank. "Ladies first, my dear." Meanwhile, no one noticed that Tinkerbell had escaped from the lantern and flown off to warn Peter Pan. She had felt terrible that she had caused so much trouble by revealing the location of the hideout. Now she raced back to Hangman's Tree and arrived just in time to save Peter from the gift-wrapped bomb. Once Tinkerbell had told Peter what had happened, he raced to rescue his friends. He arrived at Captain Hook's pirate ship just as Wendy was stepping off the end of the plank. Peter scooped Wendy up in mid-air and flew her to safety. "This time you have gone too far," Peter shouted to Captain Hook. He swooped down from the rigging, all set for a duel. In the midst of their struggle, Captain Hook challenged Peter Pan to fight him without flying. Peter agreed, but would he be able to defeat the pirate? Tinkerbell slashed the ropes that bound the boys. They beat the pirates, who jumped overboard. Then Peter got Hook's sword away from him, and Hook fell into the water. When the children last saw him, the evil pirate was swimming away with the crocodile close behind. Peter Pan took command of the pirate ship. "Hoist anchor," he cried. Tinkerbell sprinkled pixie dust on the deck, and the pirate ship was suddenly sailing through the skies of Neverland, heading back to London. "Michael, John," said Wendy, "we're going home." Back in the nursery, Wendy waved goodbye as Peter Pan sailed off into the night. Looking over Wendy's shoulder, her mother, Mary Darling, could not believe her eyes. Together, mother and daughter watched as the ship sailed past the moon on its journey home to Neverland. Okay, that's one of my favorite stories. I love it so much. And now, I think I'll go back into the book to find some good trigger words from the story. think Peter Pan's a good one. Peter Pan, 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 Peter Pan. Peter Pan, 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 Peter Pan. Darling, 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 darling. Wendy, 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 Wendy. Asleep, 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 asleep. London, 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 London. Bedtime, 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 bedtime. Stories, 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 stories. Shadow, 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 shadow. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Neverland, 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 Neverland. Fly, 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 fly. Pixie dust, 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 pixie dust. Okay, I think that will be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please let me know down below in the comments, as always. And then also, I'm thinking about doing maybe the secretary video soon. That's a lot of typing sounds and ripping paper sounds. So tell me if you guys were interested in seeing that one as well. And yeah, good night you guys, and thank you so much for watching.